Access to reliable and stable electricity is both a contractual and attributive human right. The UN Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights has emphasized that access to energy is crucial for the realization of several human rights, including the right to an adequate standard of living, the right to health, and the right to education. In essence, electricity is not a luxury, but a right to promote and protected by the states and to enjoy by every citizen. The government of Sierra Leone owes the people the obligation to provide stable electricity supply. 64 years of independence. Where are we? And in the studios to answer these and many other questions, we have been joined by civil rights activist, the person of William Sao Lamin, who is the executive director for Accountability Now. And we're expected to be joined by also Marcus Bangura, who is also a rights-based activist within Sierra Leone. First off, we take a report that was done for us by Mariam Atomi as it speaks to the current energy situation in the country, more so at the time when EDSA has given us, they've resorted to of course, give the public a schedule in terms of their supplies to parastatals, zones and areas, not least in the capital city, Freetown. But of course, let's take that report and then we'll continue the conversation.
Sierra Leone finds itself in distress as Freetown is plunged into darkness. Inconsistent power supply in the 21st century continues to hinder businesses, disrupt commercial hubs, and affect hospitals and daily life. As of 2022, only 29.4% of Sierra Leone's population had access to electricity, a figure that has sparked public frustration. Chairman of the Energy Governance Coordination Group, Alhaji Dr. Kande Kole Yumkela, revealed that between January and June 2024, Sierra Leone paid Kappa Ship $90 million, and the end of the contract total payment will exceed $300 million. Sierra Leone's electricity capacity increased from 130 megawatts in 2018 to 270 megawatts by the end of 2024, but this remains insufficient. Freetown alone requires 130 to 150 megawatt daily. Yet, currently receives only 65 to 70 megawatts. He warned that even if power generations increased, distribution challenges persist due to lack of transformers and substations. With 350,000 registered customers in Freetown, excluding illegal connections, EDSA has introduced a load shedding schedule to distribute electricity across different areas. The load shedding schedule includes daytime 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., the Central Business District, industrial areas like Kleintown and Blackhall Road, hotels in Aberdeen and Lumley, strategic hospitals, Presidential Lodge, and the Vice President's Lodge. To name but a few, nighttime includes 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., Poti, Wellington to Waterloo, strategic hospitals, Presidential Lodge, VP Lodge, Moritown, Waterloo Street, Godrich to Sussex, and the Connaught Hospital, to name but a few. Let's hear from citizens on this issue.
The last issue currently.
The current electricity distribution in the country is not favorable. We pay our electricity bills but don't receive the service we are paying for, not to mention the small token that's sometimes given. The load shedding is not working in my favor. I usually come to town in the afternoon to sell and return home in the evening. If the power is cut in the afternoon, it becomes useless to me. At night, we need electricity to study with our kids and store food in the fridge for the following days. We also can't afford generators like the Kaba Tigers, and fuel prices is another major burden.
Lights a day, we but we pay lights be complete.
Because some place in the office and somebody need lights.
I believe the load shedding schedule benefits those prioritized during the day, since commercial hubs require electricity for smooth operations. However, those without electricity at night face increased risks of theft and disturbances from mosquitoes. Night time is also when we unwind and rest, and having power ensures our phones are charged for the next day.
Incident, But if you light there, we will see one another.
Also, right now, we side the same too.
The load shedding schedule was announced, but I'm not sure if it has taken effect. Our area hasn't had electricity for some time now, and it's putting a strain on our daily activities. If they say it's 12 hours per day, then it should be 12 hours. The government also needs to step up and settle the CAPA issue. Electricity is essential for the country.
Better, we told Ricky forget the lights. Well, Sunday we need to get.
In response, Sanepo, EDSA's communication officer, explains the reason behind the load shedding and how areas were selected.
We all know we are now in the dries, and normally in the dries, the water level at Bumbuna reduces at its barest minimum. So we are faced with the problem of us not getting Bumbuna to become the base load by 3 to 5 megawatts from Bumbuna to Freetown. Even though there are few drops along Makini and Maburuka. As it is, we only have car power as our base load. That is, we get bulk of the power from car power ship. So car power ship supplies us 50 megawatts of electricity. And in addition to that, we have a solar mini grid called Makot. Makot generates around 10 megawatts to Freetown, even though its total output is around 15 megawatts. But there are also drops along the line. We now have the Niigata engines on, and they are also supplying around 9 megawatts to the grid. And also the Watila engines are far on the way. So in probably in a few weeks to 1 month, we will get the Watila engines on. And will also give an output of 15 megawatts, which will help increase on our generated capacity. Decided to let the load shedding out because we also want to be in a position where we could monitor our supply flow. Because for instance, if you know as a customer that you're supposed to get power supply on a specific day and you didn't see power supply, then you can raise the red flag. You can contact us. That is why we indicated contact numbers on the press release. You can reach out to the leadership and say, "Oh, I'm supposed to get power today, but I didn't see it, and my neighbors are also getting power for a period of 2 or 3 days." Peak period means we took peak period around 6 in the evening and 6 in the morning. So that is peak period because that is the time that the demand increases. That is the time that almost everybody sits at home and utilize electricity. We also have areas that we didn't mention in the press release. Those areas are areas that do not experience prolonged outages.
With months of uncertainty ahead, many wonder if Sierra Leone will ever achieve a 24-hour electricity supply. Maya Matomi, AYV News, Freetown.
So in Leone, we've been joined in the studios by a civil rights activist to help us understand the issue under discussion. William, it's a pleasure having us always. Good morning.
Thank you and good morning. Thanks for having me.
How worrying is the situation, taking into account this messaging from EDSA seem very consistent in terms of Bumbuna and what have you. How worrying is the situation?
Well, the situation actually is very serious. You know, when you talk about electricity, it touches almost every Sierra Leonean. You know, those who are dealing with, who are doing trade with fishery, meat, those dealing with bars and restaurants, you know, each and every one of us, those who are running telecenters, they are all, surviving under the electricity, you know. So if there is that much, situation that is that much so bad that people cannot be able to access electricity, is something very, very worrisome, is something very serious. I know the government has been playing their own part, but we believe there are still challenges, there are lapses in this part of the government, because if we are talking about sustainable electricity, government has to place more money into electricity. The monitoring system is also very key, because we also understand that there are people within EDSA who are playing games. Some people are doing illegal connections, and so on and so forth. As Sierra Leoneans, as citizens, we are also, we do also hear about theft of electricity cables, you know, destroying substations and all of that. So it's a universal problem that government has this, and we as citizens, we are also causing problem in our little way, because the little we have, we are also destroying the little we have. So meaning we are going to stay in this kind of situation for decades of years, because I believe if we have been able to have a sustainable light or electricity in a capital city, you know, by now we who are staying within the number 2 river axis, Toke axis, York axis, could have received electricity. But when there is challenge still within the city.
That was more the reason I didn't ask you whether or not you slept.
We don't talk much about electricity,
but again,
we don't have it.
But again, where does sincerity sit in all of what we are talking about?
Sincerity in the part of government, sincerity in the part of us, even the opposition. Light is very important. So therefore, even the opposition should not just condemn that, oh, there is no electricity, there is no this. They should also provide solutions how we can go about this electricity. We are seeing the role Dr. Yunkela is playing. He's coming from a different political party, but he's more than willing to accept appointment from His Excellency the President to see how best he can play his own role in terms of transforming, you know, this particular sector. So even the opposition, the common man, those who are stealing the electricity gadget or equipment, all of us has a role to play. For us, civil society, we have the responsibility to engage the public, to communicate to the public, to educate the public about what is actually happening. The only challenge we have of late, most of these MDAs are not really working with civil society for them to have a day-to-day information. Because before this time, we used to work with the Bunguna people, we visit the site, we see exactly what is happening. So when we are talking, we talk from an informed background. But this is not happening of late.
And why is
this
that
is very
so?
well, we don't know. But from here, I will tell you for free, as somebody who believes in engagement, I am not an opposition, I believe in engagement, and I believe that we should complement the effort of the government. After this program, I'll be going to EDSA.
Is it an issue of trust? Is it that they've lost faith in civil rights activists?
There is nothing about trust.
Do you think that's one reason why they are not collaborating?
There's nothing about trust. There's nothing about faith. There's nothing. We don't just know why, because they know the role we used to play. Whatever we see when we get to the site, when we come back, we educate the people.
You cited the opposition as them bashing government as to the current state of energy. But one will tell you that during the days of the APC, to some extent, Freetown municipality never experienced the situation it's experiencing today, wherein power has been shedded. You see, for lack of better ways of putting it,
we see
timetable.
So why the APC can't come in with their expertise to educate, or to, what can I say, to complement the effort, as I mentioned, Dr. Kande, that is it, and profile solutions. They've been doing it. It might be good. Maybe.
Do you think there's a platform being created or being placed out there?
You don't need to have a platform for that one. As I said, after this engagement, after this discussion, I'm going to EDSA office. I'm a public servant. I'm a very senior civil society and human rights activist. I have the right to engage the Director General. What is happening now? What is the current situation of electricity? Opposition people, the common man, everybody has a responsibility, including journalists, to go to that particular ministry or EDSA to ask them some certain questions. Maybe they have some challenges, and you have answers to those challenges. Maybe you have your influence, like what Kande is doing now. He's engaging top, international people. You know?
Sorry to cut you short, but you made mention of the appointment of Dr. Kanda Yumkela. Now we've seen where the government has announced initiative like the Cluster Power Development Plan and the Compact for Sierra Leone Energy Transformation, but yet still we're not seeing any sort of progress being made. Would you like to speak to that?
Well, I cannot say there is no progress because I'm not a professional to know exactly what is happening. You can even take me to the powerhouse now. You say we are doing A, B, and C, and use all of these jargons that you are using. I might not understand. I may not understand. And I will tell you, the common man out there, the only thing they want to see or hear, more especially when we are not doing prepaid again, we are now on postpaid. All the people need is to see electricity. Whatever you explain to people, they will not understand. The only thing they will understand, including myself, is that there is light in my house, nothing else.
William.
When I pay, I get electricity. If electricity is not there, whatever you explain to me, it will be very difficult for me to understand.
As a rights-based activist, don't you think energy is one that touches on the rights of the people?
I believe...
You know, I think one of the reasons why perhaps you not look it from that was from the coin. Quite sad. For instance, you have a meter, you have unit in it, and you have no light. I was just watching through the internet, and Tanzania had to shut down 5 of its plants due to excessive power supply.
Well, I will tell you,
it's hilarious, but
as I said earlier, electricity is very... Electricity touches body. Even that mommy who they sell cold water, 1,000 leons or 100 leons, you know, it touches everybody. Those who are doing top-up selling, those who are charging mobile phones and all the rest. If you go to number 2 river now, people move from that number 2 river end within the higher Okada, 7,000 leons to number 2 river, and then you drop your phone, you pay 5,000 for charging, you return again 7,000 leons, and then in the evening, you go and pick up your phone, you have to pay another 7,000 back. So you are paying just transportation, something around 28 leons plus the charging fee, which is 5 leons. So meaning you are spending over 30 leons just for you to be able to charge your phone. And at the end of the day, sometimes you don't even have full charging. But you have to manage because you have no options. So meaning electricity is very important. People, when you have electricity, you have freezer at home, you are a rich man. That is not the point. In fact, those who have those kinds of facility, you have light, you have freezer, you have music cassette and all the rest of it, you spend less. Because if today I'm blessed for my brother over there giving me 200,000, buy some fish and some other stuff, prepare 2 or 3 different sauces, then place them into the... So at the end, it's going to happen. I'm going to manage time every day, going to the market every day, I'm going to manage energy, then I'm even going to manage my finances. Just I have freezer and I have electricity. With the Bible, when the Almighty gave us light, and He said there was light,
let there be light.
You know, let there be light. And that one is biblical. Anyway, it's biblical. Because so what I'm saying, light is very important. For us here now, we are sitting here very, very comfortable because there is light. If this place was totally dark, we will not be definitely will not be comfortable because the AC will not be on, the bulbs will not be on. And at the end of the day, we'll not be comfortable. We'll go outside. So with electricity, it touches everybody.
So
and it's very important for development.
What immediate step do you think
immediate step, government needs to place more money into electricity. Whatever I may say, they need to place more money. Those of our areas, number 2 river, 2K, you call them, you name them, you can have mini grids. Let's have different kind of electricity. If we cannot have the EDSA electricity for now at Bobo, number 2 river, Toke, you name them, you can place mini grids. People can pay. There is no way you can compare any form of electricity, whether it is mini grids, it is generator from the government or whatever way or Bumbuna. You cannot compare the cost to the running cost of individual generator you have at home. So it's always reasonable with government electricity, and everybody will be comfortable.
Do you foresee a transition to us utilizing Kaba Tigers?
I don't think we have to get there. The belief I have from these 2 gentlemen, of course, I believe His Excellency the President is now the Minister of Energy. I believe so. He's the Minister of Energy because there is no, minister. We have the Deputy Minister there. And I also believe in Dr. Kande Yunkela.
2 years,
He's a man.
2 years down the line.
He can speak.
2 years down the line.
Yes, electricity is not something very simple. I used to bash EDSA, and I will continue to bash them, definitely, because what the people need is electricity. No more, no less. It's just electricity. So we'll continue to bash them. But at the end of the day, we also need to ask ourselves, how much are we generating locally in country? Now, even the NRA, whatever they are generating is a little down from the Minister of Finance. And I think they are now putting modalities in place to ensure that they step up. How much tax people are paying, even with the local tax, for them to pay 5,000, for people to pay 5,000 is an issue. And everything that has to do with electricity is money. In fact, you don't talk about loans when you want to buy some of these gadgets. You talk about dollars. So we have to spend money on energy, and then we receive the energy at the end of the day.
Still with regards to the energy issue, now we all are aware that Sierra Leone relies solely or heavily on donor sponsors energy projects. Now, how is the government ensuring partnership with that of the Millennium Challenge Cooperation Compact translates to tangible results of electricity without delays?
Well, that is what we are looking up to, and I will tell you for free, from our local resources alone, we cannot survive to have electricity. You can understand the last crisis we have with the car power ship. Huge amount of money. If I understand that,
and
country still owes car power ship $50 million. Institutions place almost everything together for them to be able to pay at that particular time, and we still owe them. You understand? So we need donor partners. We need international support for us to be able to step up.
But there has been, you know, donors being made towards energy, and yet still we're faced with this challenge.
Yeah, you're talking about the Millennium Challenge. We also have a problem with that. You know, donors will promise. Donors will tell you, I'll give you $100,000 or whatever within 6 months. At the end of the day,
and you think it's not been actualized?
It will not. Sometimes they do give support, but the timeliness of the support is another challenge. I will tell you, this water is 10,000 euros now if you are going to buy it now. But if they are going to give me the money in December, then definitely the cost of this water will not exceed 10,000 euros. These are some of the challenges that government is actually facing. You have a project, you present a project of $1,000 now for somebody to assist, and the person will say, yes, I will assist. It will be on news all over the world that we are pledged to give Sierra Leone $1,000. And at the end of the day, that $1,000, we'll be expecting that $1,000 maybe the next month. It will not come after 6 months. Even if it comes in tranches. So all of these are challenges. So what we give us a tangible or a fixed, what can I say, sustained electricity or sustained project is when we focus on our local resources that we are generating. Even EDSA itself, I know there have been challenges in terms of collecting.
Speaking of us focusing on our local resources, now one of his key mandates, that of the President Bio, in his administration, he spoke about or he emphasized on renewable energy, as we all are aware. Now, how does this focus or balance with existing terminals and hydro infrastructure causing current outages? Now you're talking about let's focus on our, local means of having electricity, but yet still we had Dr. Kande Yunkela here all the time, and he was saying that we do have generators that have been there for over 6-7 years, and these generators are not even being repaired. Some are not being repaired at all. Don't you think we are the problems to all of the things that are currently happening in the country?
Well, whatever you may say, this is our country. We have to take responsibility, you have to take blame. There's no way you can say the blame is on America, government, or whatever. We own our country. We have our presidency, we have our executive and all of that. So it's like whatever blame we are going to pose has to come back to us. And the issue about electricity has not just been within the time of the former President Nkrumah. No, I will not agree. It's not the problem of President Bio. No, I will not agree. The problem of electricity has been there for decades of years. Those who were in governance 30, 40 years, I will tell you for free, they have to take the bulk of the blame because they have not been able to put proper structures in place. We still have machines that have been there for over 30, 40 years. How can you continue to maintain those machines, those archaic machines? which people are not even using now. People don't even know about them again. You know, so we have to modernize now. We have to go in for things that, I mean, can be easily accessed, can be easily, I mean, operate. You even talk about the technology, the ICT part of it. People are not training in universities and other things with the current trend of equipment. So you can't have current trend of equipment in terms of training, and then you have...
William,
we know how, of course, we sense how frustrated you are about...
Very, very frustrated.
About
when you talk about energy.
About the current energy condition we have in the country.